Hey all, hope you all are good. Welcome to my channel through World of Coding. In my previous videos, I have done processing on dataset agent.csv using PySpark on Apache community version. So, uh, in a quick way, I will walk through the code, and then we will make our code much more dynamic to make it reusable. So let's begin. First, I've read the CSV file which is present at this path, and print and use infer schema equal to which will automatically detect the data types of your dataset. Similarly, I have defined also the column data type explicitly, and then read the dataset with options. Then we have out of the various columns present, I have read various columns. Then I have renamed few of the columns and then add a column with column function. And then I have unloaded my dataset in Parquet format at unloads path, and the name of the Parquet is processed. And then I have displayed the Parquet format unloaded. So let's do one thing. As you can see, these paths are hard coded. So in order to make it dynamic, I've created another notebook, sample notebook. So where we'll define our various parameters, and then will at the runtime will load the config notebook and will load the variable. So let's begin. So first, let me copy paste all the variables here. First, create variable source path, and we will use this variable where our source file is present. So let's replace this and also replace this. Okay, then um, let's add one more column. Okay, there is also this path also. Let's remove this. Okay, unload, and gives the variable name as unload path. Okay, let's and light like this unload path. If similarly do here also. Okay, then yep, let's add one column and use it at runtime. Okay, uh, let's add the column here before. Yeah, so we will take the input using widgets. Okay, so we'll use db utils dot widgets dot text, and let's also provide a data source. Okay, data source, let the value be default, and then the label should be uh, data source. Okay, and then now let's capture the value of the widgets. We will use dot get. You can press tab to autocomplete. The value should is stored in variable data source. Okay, here, and let's here add the column. So let's run the cell to show you what I actually am doing. You can see at the top data source uh, is been a widget has been created. and I have created, let's manual. Okay, and press enter. Okay, so you can see it prints the value of the whatever is stored in the widget in variable data source, and it is being present here. So let's save it in variable mm, data source only. Okay, and when we will use print data source variable, it will show manual. Okay, now let's add the column with column, um, with column. Yep. Oh, what happened? It will show error. I will add a column with name data source and value as also data source, because okay, so in order to convert into string we will use lit operator, literal. Okay, and we need to also import that function, so I will import it from PySpark dot sql dot function import lit. So seems good so far. Let me run to show you what's the output. Okay, now let's, okay, you can see data source column has been added with value manual. Okay, and let's do one thing. Let's also call this function from another notebook. Okay, def append column. Okay, it takes the parameter df. Okay, and we have to return. Here will be df. Okay, so I've created a function append column. So whenever it will call, it will append function ingestion date with value current timestamp. Okay, so let me get back here. I will use the function append column. Okay, and will pass the data frame value. Here will be rename df. Okay, we have already changed the path, and now let's, so this notebook is dependent upon our config notebook, so we will run it using percentage run. Okay, and then call the notebook name. So let me copy the path. Okay, so we can call our notebook using percentage run command. So let's run it. Okay, so it's print welcome to my channel. So I've already defined the print function, so it's giving the print output. And now let's check whether our the variables that we have defined, its value is coming or not. Okay, let's run it. Okay, you can see our uh, variable values is being correctly loaded from config notebook. Now, as our unloads is already present, let's delete this first. Okay, uh, let me delete this. So what it will do, before running of our uh, Python notebook 1, it will automatically delete the unloads that are present in the previous run, that are created in the previous run. So fs dot rm, we will give the path. Okay, and we'll pass true. Okay, now let me delete this. This is not required. Seems good. All good. Now let's run our notebook as a whole and click on run all. Okay, as you can see, uh, our notebook has been run and it is dynamically picking the parameters that we defined in the config notebook and and generating the unloads in the process unload path. So hope you enjoyed the video. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day.